this is going to be my final attempt to film this video because I just want to keep it under 10 minutes this time, and I'm already taking up time. So, okay, it's video time. All right, let's go. So, the last video I was making about friends and how I have trouble making friends and how I don't really know how to make friends. And I think on some level, you know, I don't know, I do know how to make friends. I have friends. I have lots of friends. I have plenty of close friends, and I get very close to my friends in a way that's appropriate. But I don't have any friends. I don't have any friends in person here. All my friends are on the internet now. See, I come from Brooklyn, and in Brooklyn, there's just so many people all the time, and there's always people around you, and you could always find something to do, and there's always someone to hang out with, and there's always somewhere to be, and there's always something going on, blah, 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 blah. So I don't live in Brooklyn anymore, and I don't know I don't know how to meet people. I don't drive. I don't do anything. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't spend very much time interacting with people, and so those muscles are kind of being autistically forgotten, and also my eccentricity is being encouraged to the max as I continue to become more and more viral and more internet. Excuse me. So I was making the video about friends, and while I was doing that, I happened to walk past a group of people who were sitting and talking a little bit and listening to Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar, which, if you don't know that song, it's been the song of the summer, and it's the clinching blow in the Kendrick Lamar beef. And you know, I walk past him and I'm bobbing my head, because I love that song, and you know, I walk away for maybe a minute, and then I just kind of stop, and I start to weigh in my head. I'm thinking, okay, they're listening to Kendrick. I like Kendrick Lamar. I like listening to music, and I like to talk and do it sometimes. So, well, that's something that we've got in common, and we're all in the same place. What are the chances? So I have just been kind of standing still and contemplating, trying to get my nerve up to go up to them, you know, because it's not something that really comes easy to me, talking to any person, sometimes even if I know them. But yeah, I steel my nerves, and after like a minute of just standing still, thinking, what are the pros, what are the cons, should I do it, should I not do it, this could go really badly, or it could go well, I don't really know how it's gonna go, let's just do it. And so I walked back up to them, and I said, hey, did you know that Kendrick dropped? And they were all kind of like, no. I don't know if I mentioned, but they were sitting in a gazebo, and the gazebo is composed of two semicircle benches opposite each other. So I stepped onto the veranda, I don't know what to call it, I stepped onto the opening part of the gazebo, and I said, I'm not intruding, am I? And they said no. And I sat on the bench opposite them, and it was just immediately awkward. This is just like a group of friends hanging out and listening to music. They're having like a smoke, chill, listen sesh. I just kind of showed up in their business, and then I didn't even ask, can I join you? I just said, hey, Kendrick dropped. This one guy is like, really? Like, let me look for it. And I said, yeah, it's heavy though. And then I said, I'm not intruding, am I? And they said no, and I sat down. But the thing is, they can't really tell me if I'm intruding or not, that's almost an irrelevant question at that point, because it's just kind of like, okay, well, how are they going to say, yeah, like, you're intruding, like, we were vibing and now you're messing it up? Like, people don't want to be like that. No one wants to have to say that. It sucks to have to reject someone. It's probably better. It's better that it was a group of people, I think. But I'm realizing all this, and that maybe I thought that I had, anticipated this kind of thing, and I kind of had in my head, but really, I had no idea. I mean, I just like really out of touch with reality, really out of touch with the way that things worked, have not been having social interactions in person very much at all with, just a variety of people. And so, yeah, was realizing, oh my God, I did actually just forget how to make friends. This is not what you do. This is weird. What I'm doing right now, this is really weird. I don't even go here. And so it's just that feeling of knowing that you are the awkwardness, that everyone is just like being too polite. Knowing that feeling of knowing that you're the elephant in the room is one that I'm really familiar with, and I'm also not sure how often it's actually true and how often I'm anxious, but I think in this instance it was actually true. Because I think that I would feel weird if somebody did that to me if I was hanging out in a friend group and, I don't know, there wasn't more to go off of other than, did you hear Kendrick's new drop? Yeah, it's kind of heavy. This one guy can't find it, and he's saying, I can't find it. And then I look on my phone and I say, because I actually forgot the name of it because I was panicking a little bit. And then I said, oh, it's called Watch the Party Die. But yeah, like I said, kind of heavy. Because I'm like, I don't want to mess up their vibe even more. And at that point, like, don't kill my vibe, because Kendrick, that didn't play. They did play Rich Spirit though, but when I tell the guy the name of the song is Watch the Party Die, I move over to their bench. To me, this feels like a big mistake. Now it's like, it's 5, 10, 15 times as weird. And I've been in this for, it's been now maybe 7, 8 minutes since I rolled up. And I am not, this is not working out. Like, this is not happening. Like, the conversation's not really happening. It's, the conversation has been, can you find this video, the YouTube video? No. Oh, keep looking. It's, the guy's just, everyone's just on their phone, sitting, vibing, except maybe not as much now because of me. And this awful urge starts to grow inside of me because I'm sitting too close. These people don't want to make conversation. I want to leave. I don't want to just like get up. For some reason I can't do the normal thing, and I can't just get up and say, well, I hope you guys enjoy your afternoon. Listen to the Kendrick. Don't just like, yeah, I don't know, just leave and be humble. And gosh, it's getting loud over here. So instead, what I do is I say, hey, can I ask you guys something? And the girl closest to me kind of is like, what? And they're all stoned. Most of them are, at least. I mean, I don't know, because I don't know them, so I have no idea. But the girl closest to me is kind of like, huh? And I said, can I ask you something? And then she's like, yeah, I guess. And so I just addressed them as a group, and I said, I'm a content creator. You make videos for YouTube and Instagram, and I was wondering if you could help me out with something, because I was making a video about making friends and how to make friends, and I don't know how to make friends. And so do you guys have any advice for me? And they were kind of like, I don't know, like, just looking at each other like, what is wrong with this person? Then I said, oh, well, we don't have to film it. Maybe we could just talk. And the one dude who was vibing to the music the most, he turns off the music and he smiles at me and he says, what was the question? And I just say, how do I make friends? And the act dropped completely. I don't know. I had this impulse, this compulsion that was kind of like, oh no, things aren't going well. I need to take control of the situation. I need to turn this into content. Yeah, that's right. I'm doing content, and this has all just been for a video, and so this is for my video now, and I'm not like weird or anything. And so after I asked, how do you make friends, there was like a silence, and the guy was thinking, and I was just looking at all of them, and I said, I'm desperately trying to salvage this interaction. Like, I don't know, I'm being so awkward. I mean, because you guys can see, I just kind of rolled up here and sat with you, and I feel like that's not cool, and that's not how you do it. But how do you do it? And this guy, he said, do you know yourself? He asked me. And I said, yeah, I feel like I know myself pretty well. And he said, then you got a friend right there. That's where you start. And I said, okay. And he said, then you need to find, you need to find your place, and you need to find your people, and you gotta find something that you have in common with people. For us, he said, we've all come together and we like to vibe and listen to music, and we all keep it real, and we're all open and honest with each other. And I'm like, heck yeah, that's all awesome. It was really, really nice what he said about you have a friend right there if you know yourself. And he also did say you can't just, come up to a bunch of people. We're in a group, like, we always keep it real. We're all, like, open and honest with each other. He did kind of say you can't just come up in that, like, you have to find your people. And I felt like that was a really nice and gentle way of letting me down, because I could tell the way the interaction was going. I wasn't going to make friends out of this interaction, but I might still learn something valuable from it. And someone asked, do you work? And I said, yeah, I do, but it's all remote. And someone else said, I was gonna say maybe start with the internet, and I said no. I need to get away from that as far as connecting to people goes. Like, that's what I need to get away from. I don't know, why is it happening now? There's in my favorite comedy special on HBO, I think it's from 1977 or 1978. It's Andy Kaufman's HBO special from 1977 or 1978, and one of the infamous Andy Kaufman moments happens in it, which is, I don't know, he just has this classic freak out. Because first he says, I don't understand one thing, why when I tell the jokes you're all going boo, and then when I don't want you to laugh you're laughing. And then he says, I'm not here to show any talent. I just came here because I just want everyone to have a good time, and I want everyone to laugh and pretend like you're all my friends and we're having a good time. It doesn't work. I have no business being here. And I want to thank you for showing me where I'm at. Of course you can control what's going on in a show. It's a lot different from being on the go and in it and in experience. You don't want to turn that into that kind of thing. But I really did just feel, the show part is what's irrelevant. Also because I think I had this moment of panic where I was trying to turn the situation. I was considering salvaging the situation somehow by turning it into a video, which I guess I am kind of doing now, but it's because I wanted to talk about the experience, and I really didn't actually want to, I don't know, I felt like cheapen things by, oh my god, there's ants all over my phone. I didn't want to cheapen things by filming them, so I stopped saying that I would film the interaction, and I just put my phone down and I just listened to this guy talk about what it meant to be friends, and I listened to him say where I gotta go, what I gotta do, and the polite kind of rejection from their friend group. In a way, probably, yeah. I mean, I think, but yeah, what's for them to say? What basics do they even have to say? That they would be my friend. I also didn't ask. I just blurted out that I was doing this video, and I feel like it was this thing where I was trying to make believe all these people were my friends, but I also tried to tie it into my content, which is maybe, I think that's like a red flag. I don't know. I mean, I'd be extremely excited if I had this interaction with someone else, but that's because I'm me. And I guess I am my own friend. And I guess that guy really had some awesome advice. And I'm so scared to ever see any of them again. And it was really, really embarrassing. And I made a complete ass of myself. And after a little bit, there was not really anything to say. And they all just kind of left the area. And we all wished each other a good day. And so now I gotta find a friend. And I don't want to start with the internet. I don't want to meet anyone off the internet because I don't like it. Maybe that sounds picky of me, but it's just, I don't know. I've met almost every single friend I've ever had off of the internet. And of those people, I found that the people that I meet in real life, no, that's a made-up statistic. I just don't want to meet people off the internet. How about that? I just want to I want to be able to have a relationship to the internet and a relationship to not the internet, to God. Why did I do this? No, but you know what? Ultimately, this is a good thing. I think this is a good thing because it really just woke me up to, I don't know, I feel like I don't get it. I don't get the rules. It all, when I start overthinking social interactions, it becomes this big complex thing. And I'm so in my head about it, and I'm so awkward, and I'm so weird, and I'm such a freak. And that's what I really felt like just walking up to those people. I felt like a freak. But maybe if I hadn't been like that, and if I had been confident about myself, and I had asked those people, hey, can I join you? It still might have been weird. But that's not even the point. I think the point is just that what is the point? There is a point. I don't mean that in what's the point of anything fashion. I just mean, what is the point, you know? Whoa. It's just this moment that happened when I'm I leaned back into a persona in a moment of panic. I leapt to shield, because my pride was wounded. I leapt to shield the encounter in a veil of I don't know how would I say this, not to make it ironic, but performative. That's all it really became. I moved to make it performative. I said, okay, well, my authentic and awkward attempt, which maybe thinking about it, not so authentic, because I was worrying a little bit too much to be authentic. But I tried to then cover that up with performativity. I said, I'm actually making a video about this. Well, I had been making a video about this. It was not my plan to go interview people. But then I was thinking, that could be cool. Interview people about friendship, go up to friend groups. I think that I made a group of people maybe feel slightly uncomfortable today. I don't think that I'm a monster, and the entire interaction lasted 7 minutes tops. And I don't think, I feel bad for those 7 minutes. I think, but in the moment, okay, it was probably more than 7. I mean, it was probably more like 12, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because, maybe even more than that. Maybe it was longer. However long it was, I just felt terrible about the whole thing. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, 15 minutes. It was 15 minutes maybe. 15-minute long encounter of awkwardness. And I won't do it again. If they say hey to me, then we can hang, but it doesn't seem like that was really the move. So I'll just accept that defeat and it's not even a defeat. It's not a failure. It's a win, because I learned something, and I'm going to take the very sound advice, and also be grateful that these people were friendly to me, and they were not being mean to me, and they left in a way that was graceful. And even if they were that was so weird later, I mean, I would probably think the same thing. honestly, I've also had, I don't know. I know what it's like to be in their position. I have been part of a group of friends where there was kind of an interloper or an outlier, someone that didn't really know us, that was just kind of trying to hang with us. And I saw that person get dealt with by another member of the group in kind of a brutal way, that I didn't necessarily appreciate it, because it's like, okay, like, I don't really know this person, so I don't necessarily feel safe hanging out with them right now, but also they don't need to get crushed or, like, torn down. Like, they don't need to be made to feel like there's something wrong with them, to like, have us not hang out. Maybe that didn't even happen. Maybe it wasn't that brutal. Maybe it's just, like, the act of, like, outright rejecting someone is brutal. Feels brutal. Anyway, I felt so guilty. Like, this very small action of asking people to be friends, or not asking people to be friends, but trying to make friends with people on very shaky ground, maybe somewhat delusional ground, was, how did I begin that sentence? It was just, okay, here's how I'll wrap it up. It was cool, because even though it made me all upset, and even though it was embarrassing for me, and even though I got rejected, and even though I didn't make a very good attempt at the thing that I was trying at, and even though, yeah, I made people feel a little uncomfortable, and that seemed like a huge deal to me, that's the worst part. That's the worst part. The rejection wasn't anything personal. And I have nothing to lose by just being unafraid and being myself and going after what I want. And if it doesn't work out, or I didn't do things in the best way, then I can just learn from that. And maybe that's a really basic thing to say, but like, I appreciated the kindness that I was shown. So I thought I was gonna be sobbing coming over here. It is so strange. I feel like I am so many different people. Not like I have different identities, just that I've been on opposite sides of so many situations. And just because you know something in your head too doesn't mean that you'll know it in a way where it's like you're putting it into practice. Because I knew when I walked up to those people, you can't just walk up to people and make friends that way. And I think part of me was saying, okay, well, but let's try. Anyway, this video is much longer than I wanted it to be. I don't know why this video is so long.
Well, here's a story about a funny man named Andy. He had a knack for making people laugh, oh, don't you see? But he was strange, oh so peculiar in every way. He wanted to blur the lines between reality and play.